1911. And at Grenoble, far to the north, an army of high-performance cars is gathering from all over Europe to fight a fascinating alpine duel. Today's Monte Carlo Rally is a high-technology affair, but as ever, the weather plays a fundamental part. This year, it's cold but dry. The roads that make up the many stages are, in the main, snow and ice-free. They look set to remain so.
Before the start of last year of this rally, my tactic was the same like this year. Attack. And I have done it last year and I will do it this year. And after this race, I will see how it's working. But for the first one, anyway, you have to go flat out.
It's this year much tougher than last year. Last year it was only between Audi and Opel. Now we have Lancia, which is really supreme car, not tarmac, and Renault. So I'm sure it's going to be a battle what we will remember for a long time.
Last year's winner, Walter Röhrl, is as good as his word. The Lancia Rally may be new to him, but you wouldn't know. A bad start for Mikkola. He's already been off the road and lost 2 minutes. Former world champion Ari Vatanen is now at the wheel of an Opel, identical to the car which won here last year. Lancia's Finnish star Markku Alén is at the centre of the Italian team's 3-car entry, while Michelle Mouton and her Audi Quattro are destined for another disastrous Monte Carlo rally. Toivonen's Opel has also fallen foul of the first icy patches and lost time. French star Jean-Claude André is competing for the first time in a Lancia rally. And Stig Blomqvist, last year's most successful Audi Quattro driver, is once again leading the pack. 1981 winner Jean Ragnotti, driving the Works Renault 5 Turbo, has lost 4 minutes off the road. But his countryman Guy Freckeland is the star of the Opel team. He's setting a storming pace as the cars head south through the mountains. Alén's initial stage times have been disappointing.
Have you any idea where you're lying, Markku?
4 or 5, you know. I pay many, very, very bad for me in first stage.
What went wrong there?
I don't know, you know, I'm a little bit, you know, off in a roll all the time and it's feeling no good. But after it's going quite good.
You start...
Not very, very good.
Sunrise over Monte Carlo, and another fine day in prospect as the first cars make their way into the town. At the end of the first section, Sweden's Stig Blomqvist leads.
Stig, what sort of a day have you had and night?
It has been a long night.
You must be very pleased that you're in the lead.
Yes, of course, yes.
And somewhat surprised because the conditions surely have suited the Lancias and the Opels.
Yeah, because it was just a few meters of snow and ice. It hasn't been that condition that this car needs, but okay, now we can see it works even on the tarmac.
Blomqvist's lead is a scant 10 seconds over a charging Guy Freckeland.
I think for the next stage is good for the Opel. For I think maybe we are before Blomqvist after the first stage. The problem, I think, is Lancia. Maybe the Lancia is before us.
Prophetic words from the Frenchman. His second place is under siege. The Italians are poised to take over. Their new car, named the Lancia Rally, is a supercharged, tubular-framed, lightweight racer, designed for just one purpose. In these dry conditions and on the twisting, cambered roads of the Alps, it's utterly without equal. A combination of an instant 300 horsepower and considerably less than a ton in weight give it shattering performance. The Quattro is totally outclassed, the rest of the field relegated to a fight among themselves. Still fighting hard, but now overtaken by Röhrl and Alén, Stig Blomqvist clings grimly onto third place. And even up here, high in the Alps, there's still no snow. Four-wheel drive and 340 turbocharged horsepower are just not enough. It's Audi sadness, Lancia joy. Röhrl's splendid efforts in trying to keep his Opel in touch with the leaders is destined to end in an off-the-road excursion. And Mikkola, fighting back from a lowly place in the top 10, is now up to 4th. Momentarily locks up a front wheel, he's actually fighting a battle to be the first conventional saloon car finisher. In the process, he's forced his way into an excellent third place. But Lancia's successful story doesn't extend to all their cars. With a broken supercharger, Andrew is the team's only failure. Uncharacteristically subdued performance, Ari Vatanen heads towards 5th place. The pace of rally development has told against last year's winning car. For a supremely relaxed Walter Röhrl, it's now a matter of care and concentration, a contrast to Toivonen's aggression. The last daylight special stage of the rally at the French ski resort of Saint-Aubin. And for Lancia, it's already a 1-2 triumph. Blomqvist's car is still the leading Audi, and he's now pressurizing Toivonen to some effect as the cars turn south for Monte Carlo at the end of the second section, with only a short night loop to complete before the finish. For Toivonen, there's a last-minute disappointment to tarnish a fine drive.
You don't seem very happy.
Well, I was lying in third place, and the second last stage I went off and lost 8 minutes, so I can't be really happy to myself now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what in fact happened then?
Well, there was one fast right corner which was full of gravel, and the car went sideways, and the left rear wheel went off from the road about 20 centimeters, and typical Toivonen luck, I hit a stone.
What is your lead now, Walter?
I think 3.5 minutes before Markku and 9 minutes before the Stig.
So you must be very happy with such a comfortable lead.
I'm already calculating every stage I can be 1 minute slower than Stig.
And so to the famous Col du Turini. Most years it resembles an ice rink flanked by high snowbanks. This year there's just a patch of ice to trap the unwary. And some are a little more unwary than others. Yet more excitement for Toivonen. Back at Monte Carlo, it only remains for Walter Röhrl to claim the champagne. A superbly professional drive from the world champion, his second...